Okay, we'll look at some examples using the remainder theorem. The first example we want to look at is find the remainder when f of x equals 4x cubed minus 5x plus 4 is divided by x minus 2. So the example we have, okay, so we want to find the remainder when f of x equals x cubed, 4x cubed, minus 5x plus 4 is divided by the linear factor 2x minus 1. Okay, so we need to look at f of positive 1 over 2, sub that in, and calculate the remainder. 1 over 2 cubed minus 5x plus 4. And maybe we'll just bring up the calculator, we can do it that way. So we will have 4 on 1 over 2 okay, come in. It's 4 on 1 over 2, and we just go backspace, raised to the power of 3 minus 5 on 1 over 2 plus 4, and we'll hit equals. Okay, so that equals 2. So the remainder in this case is 2 when the function, the cubic function, is divided by its linear factor. So 2 is the remainder. Okay, let's take a look at the next example. Okay, example 2. When the function f of x equals x cubed minus x squared plus ax minus 8 is divided by the linear x minus 2, the remainder is negative 24. So find the value of a, and then factorize f of x fully, and finally sketch f of x. Okay, so we'll just make a note of the cubic. F of x equals x cubed minus x squared plus ax minus 8. And we're told that when f of x is divided by x minus 2, well, then the remainder is negative 24. This will enable us to find a. So we'll just substitute positive 2, f of positive 2, and set it to 24. So we're going to have 2 cubed minus 2 squared plus 2 times a minus 8 equals the remainder negative 24. So I'll just simplify it. 2 cubed is 8 minus 4 plus 2a minus 8 equals negative 24. Okay, so we'd see the 8 and negative 8 cancel, and what we'll do is we end up with 2a. 2a equals negative 20, which gives us a equals negative 2. Okay, so we now have the value of a. We'll write that into the cubic. So f of x we know is x cubed minus x squared minus 10x minus 8. Now I just need to erase this because we know a is negative 10, not positive 2. Okay, so we have the cubic. We know the cubic now, and we're going to try and fully factorize it. So we definitely know x minus 2 is not a factor, but let's take a look at f of positive 1 and see how we get on there. So f of positive 1 is 1 minus 1 minus 10 minus 8. So that's not going to give us a solution. Negative 18. We'll guess f of minus 1. See how we get on with that. F of minus 1. We got minus 1 plus 1 plus 10 minus 8. Just let me check that. Minus 1 cubed minus 1 squared. So we end up with f of minus 1 equals 0. So we now know that x plus 1 is a factor. Now we can do a long division to find another factor. Write our x cubed minus x squared minus 10x minus 8. So x cubed divided by x is x squared, and multiply it back. X cubed plus 1x squared, and subtract. So we'll end up with minus 2x squared minus 10x. So let's divide negative 2x squared by x is negative 2x, and multiply it back. Negative 2x is positive, and we have negative 8x minus 8. We have minus 8 minus 8x minus 8, and that indeed gives us our final remainder of 0. So we have two factors. We have the linear factor, which is x plus 2, x plus 1 we know is a linear factor. We have a quadratic factor, x squared minus 2x minus 8. Now we can fully factorize negative 8 two numbers, so we might have x minus 4, x plus 1, and here x minus 4, and x positive 2. So all of these are factors, and that will enable us to sketch the quadratic. We know I'll just write up here the solutions. The solutions for x equals negative 1, x equals positive 4, and x equals negative 2. And the y-intercept of our original curve is -8. So y is -8. Now we have enough information to go ahead and sketch. So I'll just pop the axis over here. We'll let that be our y-axis. And we'll say it crosses there at +4, -2 and -1, and -8 down here somewhere. So we're going to look a bit like this. There's the y-axis. We label the intercept -8 and label the x-axis. Okay, that completes our quadratic sketch of our quadratic. And we look at the last example. So we're told, example 3, if x plus 2 is a factor of x cubed plus 2x squared plus ax plus 2, find the remainder when the same expression is divided by 2x minus 1. Okay, so let's take a look at example 3. Now we're told x plus 2 is a factor, which means if we do f of -2 into the function, we had x cubed plus 2x squared plus a times x, a times -2 plus 2, that must equal 0. So what we've got here is -8 plus 8 minus 2 times a plus 2 equals 0. Well, the -8 and the +8 cancel, so we're left with 2a. -2a equals -2, which means a must be 1. And now we can find the remainder. So our function first, f of x, equals x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1x plus 2. And we want to find the remainder when it's divided by 2x minus 1. So using the remainder theorem, we'll go f of +1/2. And that will give us 1/2 cubed plus 2 times 1/2 squared plus 1/2 plus 2. Okay, again, I'll just bring up the calculator to do that. So we have 1/2 cubed plus 2 times 1/2 squared plus 1/2 plus 2. And the calculator, it gives us 25/8. So that is the remainder when our cubic. Lost my cursor. Equals 25/8. So that's the final answer, 25/8. Okay, that's all for the video. this lesson, and we'll do some more in the next video.